Hello everyone, I am Paul with many voices and welcome back to the Grantless playthrough of Prison Architect. Grantless. I did all the grants. I built this entire thing without grants. I did the grants that I could. So, why am I back? Well, I got reminded by Otsika, thank you very much, that there are other cheesy ways to get boatloads of money without actually building a prison, and today I wanted to show you them all. For starters, with all of the grants done, the added value, my total value of the prison, if I were to sell it, which I am gonna do, is $1.6 million. Now I could go on a large map with land expansion, but I won't because I've already tested this and it's gonna make my machine drag like crazy. It doesn't matter if I go with male or female prisoners, but what does matter is Zavada Aknova. Let's see if 500,000 is gonna do anything on top of the 1.5 million that I will, 1.6 million that I will have. I am gonna go on a lunar plot. What? Yeah. Generate forests? Yeah, definitely need that. No failure conditions. I am gonna use criminally insane inmates. Let's see, fog of war doesn't really serve a purpose. Line expansion could do that, but for the sake of this video it really serves no purpose. Otherwise I could go on a medium or a large map as well, but it makes no difference. Generate lakes no, generate buildings no, failure conditions absolutely not. Gangs don't care, criminally insane inmates yeah. Dynamic reputation, no need. Events, no need. Prison transfer, no need. Weather and temperature might help. And nah, never need. Staff needs, escape plans, no. Unlimited funds, yes. Bureaucracy researched, yes. Enable tools and cheats, yes. As such, mutators, more contraband, yes. Super guards, yes. No violent prisoners. The type of prisoners I'm gonna get is really of no importance. Fast deliveries, spectral staff just in case. Fast walking will be useful. Slow time, slow deliveries, no. This is gonna be a different video. No contraband limits. Permanent day for the sake of this video only, and wild growth. Right, let's jump in. So, why have I chosen the lunar map? Well, once again, thanks to Mr. Otsika, who reminded me that the lunar floor is something that can be sold. So let us start with getting another 191,000 bucks. All of the trees are automatically getting dismantled. And cleared up. And for the sake of such, I will say a storage. Right over here. Everything will get brought over to that. This is what I would like to call everything but prison architect. As in, I'm gonna do everything except build a prison. And for such, I'm gonna start out with some actual building. Namely, I need 5 offices. Maybe just 4, but I'm gonna go with 5 anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hire my staff. Zavada Aknova, the warden, the chief of police, the foreman, the lawyer, and the accountant. There. So, my workmen are in fact going to move all of the logs to storage, but because I have wild growth on all of these areas, as you see, a little bit of green here and there, trees can spawn again. And they will spawn indefinitely until I do something with it. Right, this is called Everything But Prison Architect. So I'm going to do a couple of things simultaneously. First of all, remove intake restrictions, because I'm going to open up intake for everything and everyone. And as you can see, criminally insane inmates cannot be admitted at this time. You need to build a padded cells or a padded holding cell. Normal cells can be converted to padded cells via the rooms menu. I hope that I do get criminally insane inmates after all, because I have removed the restrictions. Right. Now I have some power stuff to do, but I'm going to start off with down here. Let's see, the furthest I can do is here. 1. Do a little bit of this. And do a little bit of that. Right. Green energy simulator or green energy architect has been done. And we're still not on day 2 just yet. But yet I'm gonna speed it up a notch and start with number 2. Because I have maintenance and groundskeeping, the next thing that I can do in rooms is create a forestry architect. So we'll do it, I'd say, around here. Nice big forestry. But for forestry you will need gardeners, because they will plant the trees and your workmen will chop them down. 30. I'm gonna have a bunch more workmen as well. Oops. I'm gonna fire you. 30 is enough. And lastly, since we're gonna have forestry architect as soon as my gardeners plant all the trees, I'm gonna take care of it. They've already planted the trees by default, and that is green energy goal number 3 complete. So now I can export up to 1,000 units of power. Oh no, 2,500 units of power per export meter. Done. Next up, I want to pause the game and go for a fruit orchard, because the next step is in fact indeed 12 will be fine. 14, 27. Yeah, let's do 27 with a little thing here. And for this, I'm also gonna need a water pump, which I'm gonna place right over here. It's outside, I know, but that doesn't matter to me. Gonna connect you to this and give you power just because. Done. Right. Shed. Shed, shed, shed. So there is something wrong with the construction of the shed there. And that's gonna be it for now. And we still haven't received any prisoners. I am going to do this. I'm gonna do not that, but this. And I'm gonna say utilities, a pipe up to here. this serves no purpose other than just this. And I'm gonna say banana trees. Banana. Oh, it's a farming field. You were supposed to be a fruit orchard. Now, sadly, that will dismantle the shed right away, so you'll have to place it back in. Is that stupid? Kind of, but maybe it's necessary. Okay. Shed. There we go, and now I can say banana trees. And in 2 hours we'll have our first prisoners. Now I'm going with a 12 by 27 because that is perfect for 4 by however many trees that is. And lastly, as we're almost done with this, I'm gonna go with a simple field, farming field, 40 by 11. And yes, this is my standard optimal size for a farming field. There we go. We have green energy architect, we have forestry architect, we have farming architect. And there come our prisoners, including mothers. So what am I doing here? Why am I accepting prisoners? Well, I don't have a prison. Welcome to Mass Grave Architects. As you will see once I speed this up, I'm just gonna bring the women in and I'm gonna let them die. And because I have intake set to maximum of everything, as you can see, we're gonna get a criminally insane tomorrow, so the removal of the restrictions has been taken into account. And the more I keep this open, the more crazy things we'll get. We'll get exports from the power, shut up phone. We'll get exports soon enough for the, well, the logs and all of the food, which I still need to set up. So let me quickly do that. Flooring, no, walls, doors, no. Room. No need for bakery, restaurant, or meeting room. No need for any of this. The only extra room I need for now is exports. And I'm gonna place that. Shut up phone, but I'll need to check that soon. Exports, tab open, tab close, and then in logistics, I need to do crop distribution. This, that, and that. And by default, everything should be set to 100% exports. Done. Now let me quickly check my phone. Right. This is perfect because I am about to speed things up. And of course, like I said, I could copy this over indefinitely. I could buy land patches and build more farms, build more forest, build more fruit orchards. But the main gist of this is now that I just need to get prisoners in. Because having all of this set to exports, this is money. And here come our first bit of exports. And the trucks will come in. And we're just gonna have exports, exports, exports. Money, money, money. So I'm gonna see you guys when I start speeding this up, and we will just see how crazy the intake is going to become after a couple of days. And you'll see that these prisoners will die, and that things just go crazy and crazy and crazy. I'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, so what I've done is I've doubled the vegetable allotment and the other field. I've added another massive fruit orchard and another forestry on this side. I've added 5 helipads and made them all exports only. And I've increased the size of the exports a little bit and made this the delivery. Now, I happen to know from experience, as I've done a little test one that I ended up scrapping, so that only from day 10 on will my prisoners die. So I don't think you guys want to see that, so I'm just gonna stop the recording here. And I am going to let the game run until day 8 without recording, and then from day 8 I'm gonna speed up again. You're gonna see that my daily cash flow is different, that my amount of prisoners is different, that my money will be different, and hopefully that will have helicopters coming in. I've also got the exports running through the road just in case. I really hope that this works. Deliveries have been hooked up, as you can see, and then transports. Everything is exports, including this. So what I'm gonna do is yoinkity on everything, and hopefully in time we will see some progress. I will see you guys later. Okay, so we are currently at day 9, as you can see. I've played for just over an hour. And finally, our first prisoners are starting to starve to death. And they'll only get injured once their starving meter is completely full. And that's why I removed one of the helipads over here and replaced it with a 6th office for the psychologist. Because I needed to see the needs for the prisoners, which I could only do with, of course, a psychologist. So, the prisoners are just going to die, starve to death, get more injured, and eventually they'll die. And thus, we will have the mass grave architect, because since I'm not having any place to put my prisoners, they will just continue to die over and over and over and over again. The more prisoners I have, the more deaths I will have as well. I have added a couple of whatchamacallit, recycling bins in here. But sadly that doesn't work, so I'm gonna add a couple of regular bins as well, in the hopes that no, that's a filing cabinet, no thank you. And I'm gonna do a compost bin in there if I can. I cannot there, but there I can. There you go, the fertilizer system. 4 choppers will be enough. Well, this one is gonna go because there's not enough. But as you can see, the other 3 choppers will just get loaded up, and this is going to give me a much higher flow through of my exports. Otherwise, it would just be 1 truck at a time, slowly increasing my exports, and it would just take forever. And as you can see, the women are starting to bleed. Their injured meter is going up, their health is going down, and sadly even the baby will die. And this is just pretty much the first intake, and a couple of other intakes as well. As you can see, the currently insane inmate here, they become unconscious after a certain threshold of starvation. As you can see, this person only has 4 stars of starving, so that's perfectly fine. This one only has 2. This one hasn't even started starving yet. Neither has that one. But this one has, very much, as a matter of fact. And soon enough, prisoners will die. Put that cookie down! Our prisoners are starving! Sorry, I had to. As if I'm the one eating the cookie. I had to move the auto harvesters back from this one. For some reason in cloning it got messed up a notch, but oh well. I fixed it. The road is getting red with the blood of the guilty. And the best thing is, these women, and including the babies that they carry with them, if they carry with them, will have to see it. And so we're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deaths. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this will just continue every single day. Because I have a continuous intake, sadly, I was hoping to be able to get a lot more intake, but I guess not. No legendary prisoners, no death row inmates. But at least I get inmates nonetheless. And maybe if I had whatchamacallit, a little area of a holding cell, that I would see a lot more happen. But oh well. I think I may have let's see, logistics, crop distribution. Indeed, nothing has been connected to the exports, so I haven't been making any money whatsoever. As the stupid idiot that I am, I was fortunate that that which became exports already was exports, and the rest has been turned to waste, just like the prisoners. So from this moment on, we're gonna see a lot more exports. There you go. And the game has decided to slow down a lot. Four helicopters. My workmen are moving stuff into the helicopters. And as you can see, $71,000 in daily cash flow without having an actual prison. And you're probably one of the next batch to die. I also do not know what causes the prisoners to go into the hearses. So I'm gonna do a shakedown, because there's one more thing that I didn't show just yet. And that all depends on whether or not we're gonna have contraband, because that is the reason I chose Savara Aknova as my warden. Question, do I even have guards? I do not have guards. Gonna have 10 guards and an orderly or 2. I guess I just never hired them. Oops! So whatever it is that search the 45 stuff already. I thank you, but that was a mistake on my end. 13,000, almost 14,000 in power exports on a daily basis because we've passed the threshold of 5,000 power units exported. And our hearses are currently not getting loaded because my guards are working. 69,933 in daily cash flow. Just a bit of forestry left. And this is what I would call everything but prison architect. You've got your mass grave architect right over here, your forestry architect here and over here, your farming architect here and there, and your green power, green energy architect right here and a little bit here. And all without building a prison. Of course, with the if I were to expand, you will see the lunar landscape again, which I can sell to make even more money, because while you buy the plot of land, you do not pay extra for the flooring of said patch, but you do get the money in return. So let's see, it costs 20,000 to buy. I get this plot of land, and if in flooring I do this, how much do I get back? So pretty much with this much, if I sell this much flooring, I will already have made a profit on buying the land. And with this much, it is literally more than 100,000. So I not only make a profit, I make 5 times the amount of profit on just this plot of land. Which I can then use for even more forestry. Which of course I'm gonna do. Now the consulting fee that you see is in fact the compensation you get for finding contraband if you have Savara Agnova. So let me do the forestry. One ginormous forestry. And there you go. I can't purchase any more green energy stuff. I could, of course, do the grants. Oh, look at this. People are actually interested in programs that I'll never run. Grants, green machine, done. Basic farming, done. Self-sustaining, could do. Overproduction. I'm not doing all of the ingredients, so I cannot do that. I'm actually gonna stop this. Eco-friendly I cannot do because I don't have a proper power station, but I could do the long-term and short-term stuff. Let me see if the tool cleanup, oh, that actually does work. So in the actual playthrough during the last video, I was just too late. It was just too silly. Image nutrition research, excuse me. Okay, since I don't have a kitchen, but I can still do this, and in a regime I will say lock up, and if I'm not mistaken I should start now. Okay, so I can even do this grant. And staff well-being initiative, I could do that, but I don't have a staff room. Inmate health and well-being, cannot do. Administration center, done. Basic detention center, Inmate health and well-being, nope. None of this, none of that. And the rest I just don't really give a shit about. This was just to showcase a little fun thing on how to make boatloads of money without ever building a prison. Which of course was totally against the spirit of the challenge. There is one more way that you occasionally will see YouTubers or other players make a lot of money. And that involves starting a new prison and firing your workmen. Because then you get around 1600, I believe, daily cash flow. Because you have absolutely no staff and you just get that for existing. And they let the game run for about 100 hours, 100 in-game days, and they'll have a decent chunk of money, which they then start to build a prison. But that of course is utterly boring and definitely against the spirit of the challenge that I set up for myself. And so I want to do that. And as you can see, the next batch of people are already suffering from their starvation. And this is just going to continue day in and day out as I get more inmates, as I get further on and wait longer and wait longer. But with that, I'm going to be closing off today's video. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I've got one more bonus video, and I think I'll do an escape mode. So I've got 2 more bonus videos prepared for you. The next bonus video will feature something that was introduced in this DLC. And it's something that makes me say, developers, you are actually just horrible people. How dare you allow us to be so incredibly evil? But then again, I doubt they intended us to do it the way that I will do it. But what that is, you'll have to wait and see for next time. Anyway, I'm Paul with Many Voices. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.